Good morning, everybody. Ma Terry here along with our fabulous co-star, Miss Lucy. Say hi to everybody. Boy, do we have a good one today, don't we? All right, I'm going to tell you what we're up to, but this week it's all about tents, different kinds of tents, what tents work for what kind of situations. How do I know so much about tents? Because I have a lot of tents. I have the Habit tent for the Prius, and let me see if I can put in a picture right here. All right, there's my Prius all set up, and there's the video. Under playlist gear. And then for my minivan Sparkles, my Toyota Sienna, I have the tail veil, and we'll put one in right there. So this is the video, and here's a picture of my tail veil in action. For mean places that say, oh, this is tent camping only, you can't sleep in my car, well, I have the reactive tent, and I'll put it up right there. So the reactive tent is very lightweight, and it takes about 3 seconds to set up, and it is under my playlist gear, and it's called the reactive outdoor tent. And last but not least, I have the clam right here. Boom. So why do I have so many tents? Do you need a tent? What is all this tent business about? Well, sometimes I pack a tent and sometimes I don't. It all depends on where I'm going, what I'm doing, and I'm going to explain to you some of the many uses of the tent. All right, so we'll go with BLM camping. With BLM camping, I like to take along my clam. Oh, and I'll explain it real easy. Usually I have a hub. I have all my storage in Redlands. So before I take out, I go to my itty bitty little storage unit, pick up what I need, and then head out, go camping for about 3 or 4 months, come back to the storage unit, exchange out supplies. I may be heading towards the beach. Well, if I'm going out to the beach in San Diego, I don't need a tent, and really there's not a lot of places to put up a tent, so I drop off my tent. All right, so let's say I'm up at Bryan's Head, Utah, and I'm camping. I love my clam tent, and the reason why I love it is it's a wonderful social area. People can come over. Of course, it's always bring your own chair with you. Come over, have a little glass of wine, watch the sunset. It's a lot of fun. And my clam, I believe, is 6 by 6. It comes in different sizes, and we'll get into more of it. So I do like having a social area. Also, I do want to say, I never sleep in my tent at night. Now, Miss Karen will sleep in the tent at night. Bears, mountain lions, I prefer my vehicle to be camping in. All right, so I like to have a nice little social area. Oh, and we watch the elks and everything walk past. Was it elks? Some sort of oversized deer? I'm not good at naming things, am I? But wonderful. Oh, man, it's just wonderful to watch it or see the stars out at night. Yeah, I love doing stuff like that. I have my friends come over and we do crafts together. Why would you want to do it inside of a tent? Because there could be bugs outside, and I don't like bugs. My clam is perfect for that. Cooking. Here's another thing. All right, so me and my boyfriend, we're slowly looking into different types of RVs, car camping. That's why we're getting all into all this tent. Well, if you have a car, it's pretty cramped in there. The car would be great to sleep in, but maybe not cooking in. Maybe you want to, especially if there's 2 people, maybe you want a nice area to cook in, and the clam would work nicely for that. So a lot of daytime activities gets done in my tent. Yes, it is. Yeah, I love doing that. I love cooking in it. I do my yoga, my Tai Chi, lift my weights and everything in my tent. And that's the other reason we talk about shyness, me and Mr. Louie, and I don't feel right, being out like on BLM property where these people are driving by with their off-road vehicles and everything, and I'm out there doing my weightlifting. So it gives me a little bit of privacy away from the people. I like that. I also like the fact, like, if we're car camping, you can't stand up in your car, so it gives you some place to stand up and walk around in. All right, protection from the elements. mosquitoes, flies, rain. I've been in my clam a few times while it was a nice little rain shower going on, and it's really is wonderful, and you get to smell that fresh air. Oh, I love it. Oh, also, since we love watching wildlife in the tent, bring along binoculars. Oh my gosh, it's so neat to watch them out there playing and frolicking and doing other stuff. All right. And I know Bob, he uses his tent, he has a clam, or he had a clam, protection from the sun. You know, with my van, I have solar on top of my van. Well, I have to charge up my battery, so it has to sit in the sun. Well, I can put my clam in the shade, be in the shade all day, doing my crafting and everything, and then go back into my van to go to sleep at night. All right. Also, I love painting. I know art. I can do all sorts of art in my clam tent. It's wonderful to be out there plein air painting, have a nice table and everything, just looking at what's ahead of you and knowing that you're safe from all the environments. Sometimes our little puppy dogs get on our nerves and they can go sit out in the tent too. They just want to stretch their legs and run around and bark. And of course, I always watch my dogs. I'm not really afraid of bears where I camp at. Mountain lions, though, yeah, that's a good one. Coyotes, oh my gosh, like Telephone Cove out in Laughlin, Nevada. Yeah, coyotes. All right, so why wouldn't you want to have a tent? All right, it takes up a lot of living space, or as we call it, wheel estate. That's a big reason. My clam tent is like 6 foot long. It's about that wide, and it's heavy. Did I mention it's heavy? And I cannot lug that thing. You need a mallet to do the tent stakes, or a really good hammer, depending on the type of soil you're hammering into. The tent stakes, so that all goes in a separate bag. The clam, I forget how much it weighs. We'll talk more about the clam, but it's a lot for me. It's a lot. I'm thinking it weighs 45 pounds, but it's probably more like 20 pounds. But still, that's a lot. And it does take up a lot of valuable wheel estate. Like my Prius, I could only get it into the back believe it or not, I could put it in my Prius in the hatchback, in the floor. I cannot do that in my Sienna. In my Sienna, it goes in. So I guess I only get like 4 feet at its widest point back there. So yeah, thinking about space is a big thing. We already talked about Karen loves to sleep in my tent because her car is so cramped and uncomfortable. All right. Yeah, we went over me not being strong. All right. Oh, it does take strength. Getting the tent pegs in, a lot of places, you're not tapping into the soil, you're tapping into rock. So, you need a good hammer and to sludge it in there. All right. So, all of my tents are not good for high windy days. If there's a big storm coming, what I do with my clam is I just go in the top and boop it and lower it down, and then we throw a log on top of it so it doesn't blow it away anywhere. I'm a little lazy, okay? But you know what? Once the storm's over, we take the log off and boop, and I pop it back up, so that can be done. But yeah, tents, they have so many pluses, but there's a lot of minuses. I have never parked in a place where I thought my tent could get stolen, and tents are good to mark your spot. Like, hey, we're camping here, so please don't take our spot as you drive off during the day. But yeah, you could come back and your tent could be gone, depending on how easy it is to set up or unset up. That has never happened to me, but I have heard stories about that. All right. Yeah. All right. So that's good. That's good. All right. So next we're going to look into different types of tents. I think a tent is excellent if you want to do a car and, you can't be in a cramped space all day. That's excellent. My Sienna, when I'm by myself all the time, I do not need a tent at all. Yeah, I got the clam for the Prius specifically. I have not used it since I had been in the Prius, so that's interesting. Maybe I have pulled it out once or twice. I know I had it with me in Las Vegas. I know, tent camping in Las Vegas, really? But yes, I do. Where's my camera going? It's going away. All right, so there are many uses for a tent, and like I said, many not uses for a tent. It's a personal thing, but I believe it really opens up your living space. I love the clam. I've never had a problem with it. It's great. We'll go into full detail. I love my little habit tent. The habit tent is a tent specifically for the Prius, and I think it fits now. They made it to fit other small cars, but it really makes you unique. It's great to have that extra ventilation. Same thing with the tail veil. All right, we'll get into that all, I'm sure. Hold on, let me see if I can find Lucy. Miss Lucy does not want to say bye-bye. Why don't you want to say bye-bye, Miss Lucy, huh? Yeah, she loves being in the tent. Like when Miss Karen brings a dog, we have a lot of puppies in the tent. It's a lot of fun. It's a little corral. Keeps them in the shade, doesn't it? Yeah, you do love tent camping. Oh my gosh, we were up in Brian's Head just as an add-on, and so many leaves and everything. She went and played. That's another thing for the tent. Keeps them away out of the leaf pile. She came up and she had leaves. She was covered head to toe in leaves, and it took me like an hour to brush them all out. She was a mess. So another valuable reason for a tent. All right, guys, we will see you down the road. Bye from Mount Terry, and everyone have a great day.